Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm here to give you a channeled message and a little tarot reading for the weekend. So, quick story time. I took some time yesterday to record some subliminals because there are changes that I want to make within myself and ultimately in my life. And so last night was the first night that I tried it out. And one of the subliminals was to be even more receptive to messages that I get from my ancestors, angels, and spirit guides, and that I would use those messages to help both myself and other people. So, fast forward a few hours while I was sleeping, I had a dream. And I was compelled to share that with you all and do a reading for it. So, in the dream, I was talking to one of my friends and I was telling him, that I needed to make some changes in my life. I was a little bit frustrated at where I was currently and I really wanted things to be different. And so while I was talking to him, a young man appeared outside my door and I wasn't quite sure who he was, but my friend on the phone said, "Oh, he's going to help you clean your house." And I said, "Oh, okay. That's a little bit strange, but cool." So I motioned for the young man to come in, and he kind of waved his hand like, "No, you go ahead and finish your conversation." And he was sitting outside. And so, finished up the conversation and opened the door and looked at the young man, and he had on a button-down shirt and some khaki pants that was, ironed and neat, but I couldn't help noticing that they were a little dingy, right? It seemed like it was a little dusty, maybe a little bit of dirt on it, but he was very respectful and nice and sort of this gentle energy. And so I invited him in and I said, "Oh, so you're here to help me clean up things." And he was like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Where's your shower?" And I was like, "Oh, you want to start with the bathroom?" And he was like, "No, I need to take a shower." And I noticed he had a bag and a change of clothes. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a little bit weird. Like, you're here to help clean and you want to take a shower. And so I asked him, I said, "Well, why do you want to take a shower before you clean?" And he looked at me and he said, "How am I supposed to make this house clean when I'm dirty myself?" And I was like, "Okay, all right." So that's when I woke up. Of course, there is no resolution to it, but it occurred to me that the message that I was getting was that sometimes we find ourselves in a place of wanting to pretty up our environment, right? Our sort of worldly home, the space around us, the situations around us, the people around us, when we haven't necessarily done the work ourselves to sort of quote be clean within ourselves. And so it's like, well, how can you tidy up everything that's around you when there's clutter inside of you? So I feel like that's the message that was trying to come through, but I'm going to do a little tarot reading to see how we, and I am including myself in that bucket absolutely, can start cleaning up our inner selves so that we can start working on our outer experience. So, with that, I'm going to start by pulling a couple of oracle cards to see what messages Spirit has for us for this reading. Okay, so the first card that came out is Peace. Let's grab another oracle card for you guys and see what energy we have surrounding us right now. So the second card that came out is Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. All right, so that's sort of the overall vibe. Let's get into some tarot. and see what messages Spirit has for us. So let's start with where we are currently energy-wise. So the energy for the collective, the Queen of Swords. What obstacles and challenges, or what's hidden from us in terms of sort of cleaning up our inner selves? So we have Justice, and we also have the Three of Pentacles. What advice does Spirit have for us? Sort of cleaning up our internal mess. We have the Eight of Wands. And for the potential outcome, we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so let's grab another deck and see if we can clarify these messages a little bit. And I just noticed another card had flipped out, the King of Wands. So for where we are energetically right now, okay, we have one that flipped. We have the Seven of Cups. For obstacles, challenges, and what might be hidden on our path to centering ourselves, the Hanged Man. Advice from Spirit. We have the Queen of Cups, and we also have the Princess of Cups. And for the potential outcome, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so we'll get some oracle cards and see if there are any last messages before we get in. So for current energy, we have ultimate love. For challenges, obstacles, and what might be hidden. Okay, we have two that flipped over. We have future you now, and we also have nature's timing. For advice from Spirit, okay, we have two in flow state and perspective. And for the potential outcome, okay, we have one that came out. Love where you are. All right, so let's get into this collective. So with the overall energy of peace and Spirit, Fox, it really seems as though we're all trying to find that place of balance, right? And we're trying to figure out what we can do, how we can use what we have to sort of create the life that we truly want. And sometimes I think we get in a place of doubt where we're unsure whether or not what we have to offer is enough. And I think that these cards are a little bit of maybe a caution that says you're enough and don't ever think otherwise. That you have gifts. You can enhance those gifts. You can sort of create new gifts. You can always reinvent yourself, but you have to trust that you can do it and that you will be able to do it even when things are frustrating. And know that no matter what, you are absolutely enough. So looking at your current energy, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Seven of Cups, and we also have ultimate love. Forgive others and yourself. Release the past. Send love and light. Change inner to change outer. So that's sort of the message that I got in my dream, right? Is that before you can look at changing things that are outside of you, whether it's your friendships, your career, your financial status, or whatever the case is, you have to look at your inner. And I think right now you might be in a place of disillusionment, right? Where you don't think that you're enough. And you're trying to find your voice. You're trying to find a way to work through that and sort of stand in your own power and be very firm and confident in the person that you are and what it is that you have to offer the world. For the challenges, obstacles, and what might be hidden, we have justice, we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Hanged Man, and two oracle cards that came out. The first one is Future You Now. You're already that person, deserving. You have arrived, bucket list, and achieving your dream. And we also have Nature's Timing. Things need to occur in proper order. When the time is right, don't try to control the situation. So it seems like the challenge that you're encountering right now is that things don't seem very fair. And at some points, it almost feels like you're an island unto yourself, that you're not getting the help that you need from people, that you're not getting the support that you need from people. And it almost feels as though you're stuck, right? And you're having a difficult time envisioning what the world looks like where all of these obstacles sort of cleared out of your way. And there's a sense of impatience, right? With this sort of stuck energy and not being able to see the path forward. And it's like, I want this now. I want this now. But with the messages that I've gotten, it seems as though there's a little bit of work that needs to be done before things start unfolding. So what we have for advice from Spirit, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Princess of Cups, and two more oracle cards. The first one, in flow state, in the zone, loving life, focused, high frequency, skill meets challenge, flotation therapy. And we also have perspective, gaining clarity, see other side, consideration, impression versus fact, taking responsibility for your life. With these cards, I feel like Spirit is saying, okay, it's time to move. You've been stuck. You've been unsure. It's time to start loving yourself and start looking at yourself with a very critical eye and saying, what can I do to move forward? What do I need to do to start taking those first steps? And they don't have to be huge steps. You know, it might be a situation where you just kind of let go. You know, perhaps you've been holding on to things so tightly that you don't give it a chance to bloom, to blossom, to come to fruition. This is an opportunity for you to really sort of sit and think, get out of this place of disillusionment that you're not enough, and really look at yourself through a loving eye and say, I'm a good person. I am a worthy person. And there is no reason on this earth or in the next life or in an alternate universe that I shouldn't be able to have what I want. So I think that it's time to maybe shift into a state where you're allowing things to come your way, where you're allowing that inspiration, where you're allowing for divine timing. Maybe that'll be your first step, but that will come when you start loving yourself truly and deeply, is when you're going to gain that clarity and perspective that you need to start moving forward. So what we have for the potential outcome, we have the Six of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and we also have love where you are. Appreciate current circumstances, ask yourself why you want what you want, and see the beauty in it all. So with these cards, looking at your outcome, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is all about stability and abundance within yourself. And just because it's reversed doesn't mean that you're not going to have it. It just means that this is going to be a process that will get you there. This is not going to happen overnight. But what I see happening is that as you sort of start loving yourself and honoring yourself and cherishing yourself more, sort of cleaning yourself up, so to speak, you're going to find that balance. And you are going to be able to stand fully in your own power. And that abundance and love and stability will come from within. And at that point, then you can start working on the things that are outside of yourself. But in the meanwhile, I think that you're going to develop a greater appreciation for where you are and who you are. And that will help you focus on what it is that you truly want going forward. So I'm going to close this out by pulling a couple of affirmation cards to see if there are any last messages from Spirit. In the meanwhile, I would love it if you take a second to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future readings, because I'm hoping that this was helpful for you guys out there. So let's get one more oracle card. Okay. So the first oracle card that came out is Ask a Fucking Expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. And the second card that came out is Manifestation. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make them happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. So, with these cards, right, going back to the challenges and obstacles, we had the Three of Pentacles. And it might be, again, that you're feeling like you don't have support, right? And figuring out what you need to do to move forward. It's not a bad thing to talk to somebody who's sort of trained in helping you get through that. And it doesn't have to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. It could be a life coach. It could be a spiritual coach. It can be anyone who has sort of the tools that will give you tangible steps that you need to move forward. And while you're doing that, while you're working on that, don't forget the future you now. We're manifesting every second of the day. And that doesn't mean that you have to hate your current position, because gratitude brings in more, bigger, better things, right? So the more you appreciate your life and yourself, the more goodness you will draw in. So don't be afraid to dream. And don't be afraid to express your needs or what it is that you hope for to other people. Because as you love yourself, you will bring love in from others. And other people's love will make them want to help you on your journey. So I will leave it there, collective. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.